Dale Earnhardt leading after 35 laps of the Daytona 500. 1,000 feet above Daytona International Speedway, the Budweiser.com airship. Mike Skinner sits there third, Jerry Nadeau fourth, and then two rookies, Casey Atwood and Andy Houston.
That blimp's got a pretty good view of the speedway, but folks, I'm telling you, this is where you want to be, right here. We got cameras everywhere. You can see every move these cars make. I've never been so excited about a Daytona 500. I hope I'm not overdoing it.
Boy, you talk about Casey Atwood in the red 19. I talked to Ray Evernham this morning, and he said, we felt good about Casey's car yesterday. But Casey come in and said, Ray, this motor just didn't run. And he said, I started to question Casey. He said, but for 10 days, everything that kid has told me, he's been on the mark, and I wasn't going to doubt him about his motor.
And let me tell you something else about him. He had to run his way into this race through the 125s. He didn't qualify well, and he drove a whale of a race in the 125. Bill, on the other hand, slid back. I don't believe Bill's been in a racing situation all weekend.
Ward Burton's backed up. He's gone from second, now back to fifth, and the inside line is moving past him. There's a look at Bill Elliott, the pole sitter, who was all the way back to 42nd place. And just in front of him, Winston Cup champ Bobby Labonte in 39th, and Dale Jarrett in 37th position. A lot of big guns running at the back of the field. Matt?
And Mike, Jeannie Zelasco talked earlier about Dale Jarrett fading to the back. Actually, in the drivers' meeting, Dale, Bobby Labonte, and Johnny Benson struck a deal to, when the green flag dropped, to fade to the back and just let the race play out. Because of the new aero package with a strip across the top and the plate, they know they can get back up to the front. The one complaint, they are complaining about their cars being tight due to a crosswind off turn 2.
Lead change, Mike Skinner, who won Thursday's qualifying race by 4/1,000ths of a second. He has gone to the front. 7 lead changes in 38 laps. Last year, only 9 lead changes in the whole Daytona 500.
I made this statement a year ago. Got a little bit of trouble. They didn't need seats in the grandstands a year ago. They needed to put cots because everybody was going to go to sleep. This year, they don't even need seats because nobody's sitting down up here.
A new aerodynamic package. Look from the back of Mike Skinner's car and look at the roof of Jerry Nadeau and see that strip that runs right across the top of the roof.
And that's something we didn't have a year ago, but what that's doing, it's poking a bigger hole in there, and that's what's allowing these cars to pull up and make a pass. Also, they have 70 degrees of spore on them versus 45 degrees last year. A lot more drag in the car, a lot more downforce. Then under the hood, the plate is a 32nd of an inch bigger than a year ago. That don't sound like much, but that's about 25 to 30 horsepower.
Hey, man, my kid there from Nashville is trying to get out in the front here. He was up there with Skinner. He's on the outside. He's running third.
20-year-old Casey Atwood.
He's a rookie. Last year here in the Busch race, turned over. This year he's up there fighting for the lead in the Daytona 500.
Mike Skinner, the reason he's moving back and forth, he's trying to see which one of those lines is going to come with him. He don't want to get suckered by the whole line on the high or the low. But, Dick, what's happening with the black 3?
He's just called in, Larry, and he has said that the wind on the backstretch is just killing him. It bothered him last night as well during the final practice session. They changed intake, carburetor, and even the oil cooler on that race car. It didn't get the job done. To Matt. And also, Tommy Baldwin just talking to Ward Burton. They would like to pit around lap 50 to kind of get a gauge on their fuel mileage because last Sunday in the Bud Shootout, some teams were not getting the mileage they had hoped. Steve Burns.
Matt, we just listened to Royce McGee, the rookie crew chief for Mike Skinner. Mike Skinner is complaining about the car being a little bit loose. They're going to add wedge to the car. They're going to pit in about 10 laps if this race stays green.
Now Rusty Wallace is right with that lead pack car 2, 4th car on the bottom lane. He is 1 lap down due to the pit stop, trying to get back on the lead lap.
And I think he can. I tell you why. These cars are starting, the tires are going off on them. They're starting to have to lift in the corners. It's backing everybody up. And Rusty's got fresher tires. He gets out front, he's back in the race.
Now, Rusty wants to see here, we're about 10 to 12 laps before green flag stops. He wants it to cycle through. That way, when everybody pits, and I think we got another lead change. Sterling Marlin is back to the front of the field.
Marlin just drove under Mike Skinner, and Marlin retakes the lead. Mike Wallach has climbed up to 4th place. Where did he come from? He came from 27th starting spot. 41 laps complete in the Daytona 500 on Fox.